Hello, 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 and welcome back to the continuing adventures of Ping as I attempt to learn how to play Nemelex Zobe. So, Phase 1 is familiar. Train a basic stabber, spellcasting, hexes, and ice magic 6/6 and 1.5 seem to be a fairly solid mix. A short blades and stealth, of course, carry your stab game pretty solidly. And after that, switch over to evocations. You're trickling dodging the whole way so that you have a defense. The result is an evasion of 33 on a small character, hence increasingly evasive, with stab powers upgraded in Sorceral, Hibernation, and Confuse. All these other ones are just bonuses I found on the way that I didn't really need. And a growing collection, presumably, of unused wands that you can toy with. Now, the real challenge starts, figuring out how the fuck to continue. Big things to realize are that I currently have a cursed ring of ice on my hand with no resistance to fire. I think it'll be worth it just to get rid of that. At some point I apparently picked up another book that I didn't notice, so we're going to memorize Blink ASAP, and then ditch the book that I used. Also drop the Potion of Cure Mutation, since that's just a valuable potion in general. That doesn't need to be carried with me. Giant stack of rings to try out. One of them is Cursed Ring of Telly, so let's get rid of that. Ring of Fire. Love is a burning fire. Do, 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 do. No, that's how it goes. It goes, love is a burning ring. No. Shit, I don't remember this song. Love is a burning thing, and it makes a fiery ring. That's what it is. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire. Ring of fire. Let's drop half the food, and that should really ease the burden. Okay. We are back underweight now, which is fine. Now the real task becomes figuring out how to best utilize a deck. Flame, Frost, Venom. Let's see. How best to work with this? I guess I have to look them up. So let's try that. Question / item deck of destruction includes vitriol, flame. So now I have to actually look those up. So item vitriol. No. So deck of destruction is more specific than the deck of war. Vitriol. Okay, so flame and frost are presumably a fire and a ice attack. Venom is presumably a poison attack. Spark is presumably an electric attack. Hammer, I can't tell you. Pain is a necrotic attack. Orb is a conjuration attack. I saw that much. So really, vitriol, I don't know, and the hammer, I don't know, but the rest of these, I'm fairly sure, are just beam-oriented attacks. So we should be fairly confident when drawing from the deck of destruction that that's what we're going to get. We have one deck of destruction, two decks of destruction, three an ornate deck of destruction. So we can be fairly confident about those. The next thing would be deck of dungeons. Can have water, vitrification, dowsing, trowel, and minefield. Of these, dowsing displays the entire level, this I know. Vitrification turns all solid rocks into glass so that you can see through them, which is again pretty awesome. Water presumably makes water, I guess. Can't imagine what else it would do. Trowel I don't know, but I think it makes a statue. And the minefield, I believe, makes a whole bunch of traps. So the minefield seems like a negative. Trowel, I don't see the value. I kind of want to look it up. So let's look up cards and look up trowel. May create an altar, a statue, a golem, or even a portal. It works best only in the main dungeon and its branches. It is usually found in a deck of changes and dungeons. Okay, so it sounds like the trowel will never produce anything I'm not willing to deal with, except maybe a golem, which I can always walk away from. I don't really care if it makes altars. I already have a deity. Statue in the middle of nowhere does me no favors, does me no harm. A portal, I guess it depends where it's a portal to, but that seems pretty nifty. So, I'm not seeing anything in the deck of... Let me go back to the deck of dungeons. Is there anything here that I want to hold on to or save? If I knew for a fact that I could vitrify or douse a floor, that would be a really good thing to do just to know what I'm coming into for certain floors. So when the deck of dungeons has exactly one card left, that would be a good card to ID. Until then, let's take a plain deck of dungeons and evoke it. I just got the trowel, and it produced an altar to the Lord of Lithlin. Let's get out of here, because it did specifically say that it tends to work best when you're in the main dungeon or its branches, so try again. That's vitrification. And apparently vitrification was of limited enough power that it only worked in the area immediately around me, but it did make it all see-through for the good that could do. Let us peek at 2 cards from the deck of dungeons and see what's left. I lost my ability to stack the deck. That's fine, I think. Let's take a look at what's in this. I know for a fact that there's at least 1 more trowel and 1 water. I have no idea how many cards are left, so I can't math. This is becoming actually just tedious. The deck of dungeons does me few favors unless it gives me dowsing immediately when I need it, or an interesting altar, or sorry, an interesting dungeon that I can walk into. I would venture to say. So let's get back into that was a mistake. Get back into the lair, please. And of course, we must immediately get on with the sacrificing of everything. I'll go ahead and eat a bread ration just to fill me up again. Burn the sling bullets. These guys are going to come after me, that's fine. Stab 1. Stab 2. Stab Duken. Stab. Switch to a better blade. Kill him. Scrolls of vulnerability. Sacrifice the massive mace. So really the plan here is going to be hang on to decks of destruction and treat them as wands of generic damage. I actually am just going to sacrifice this wand. I don't know how valuable a wand of magic darts is ever going to be to me, seeing as to how the spell magic darts is so middling at best. What is this? Oh, definitely want to have a dagger out. Okay, water moccasin is down. Next foe, the Hydra, will require the use of a better tool, though. Let's whip out the lightning rod, sacrificing staves as I go. Oh, this is not a Hydra. This is a stabbable creature who is now stabbed. And you are stabbed also. What is it that's weighing me down so heftily? I have a lot of curing that I don't need. the Book of Maledictions that I don't really care for. Oh wow, each deck weighs 5 AUM. That's a bunch of AUM. ID something. Start with the rings, then move on from there. I don't need that. I'm pretty sure I inherently see invisible as a Spriggan. And I would rather have AC than evade, since I already have so much evade. And diminishing returns. We'll drop the strength and intelligence ring just because I perceive it as being more of a hindrance than a help at this stage. Nail him with that. So there totally was a Hydra, and I don't know where it went. I'll be honest with you guys. So far, the part of being an evocator that I like the most, being able to focus entirely on one school in order to build my early and mid-game damage, and gaining access to a bunch of interesting evocable abilities, that I can do entirely without Nemelex. But then playing as a Nemelex worshipper, I feel like restricts my deity choice, which, ironically, I don't think is. I actually think is worse than any benefit Nemelex is giving me. Okay, let's max my range out, and then boom, lightning kill. But yeah, if I could somehow if I could start the game with a middling rod, and then just train myself to use magical objects, so that every time I come across a magical object, it's like, wow, that's awesome. Look how much more power I have behind it. That could actually be really something. I could definitely see myself getting behind a run like that. Alright, that's a lot of them. Whip out the lightning rod. Because lightning rod has a fun secondary mode where you spread lightning over a large area and just kill all the sheep. You know, I would say, oh, look how lucky I am that I got the lightning rod, but honestly, just about any offensive rod would be equally good here. What else can I ID? This unknown scroll. Ditch it. +6 ring of intelligence. Sure, why not? I don't know what intelligence does for my evasion. Not evasion, evocation. Although, you know, that is something I should really look up at this stage. Now that I'm using evocables as much. So you know what? Hang on. Let's spare a moment to pull that up. Crawl wiki evasion. No, evocation. Boom. Boom. The monster wields weapons, blah 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 blah. Here. Max MP, increase the spell power effects produced by many evoked items, increase the success rate, attempts to determine the number of charges, blah blah. May raise the power level of cards from drawn decks, reduces the hunger cost of the evoking rod by 10 per skill level, but never to less than 5. Improves your rod's MP regeneration rate. Oh, that I did not know. That must be why my rod is recharging so damn fast. Alright, let's see if I can figure out something else. Spell power is based solely upon your evocation skill. None of the factors involved in stand magic have any power. Spell power is equal to 5 plus 3 times Evo. Okay, cool. So intelligence is not actually helpful here. Huh. Just flipping through this real quick. Every +1 to a rod's charge rate adds 0.01 more MP per turn, and every evocation level adds 0.05. This seems small, but add up quickly. A +3 rod and 13 evo adds 2 MP per 10 turns, while a +9 rod used by a player with 27 is 6 MP per 10 turns. That's pretty impressive. Okay, I don't actually know how much spell hunger is and how much 5 is, so I'm kind of curious to see if I can get a, how much hunger is 5 spell hunger. A level 1 spell has 50 hunger associated with it as its base value. A meat ration is 5,000 units of nutrition. So getting spell evocation hunger reduction, blah blah blah, I can do 270 reduction by maxed out evocations times 10. Okay, so going back to this table, I can get level 4 spells from rods down to practically free, but not level 5 spells. And then of course it gets worse after that. At least if I'm reading this correctly. Yeah. Rod use is independent of your stats. Rod use only requires training and evocations. Rod use is not negatively impacted by your EV penalty. Rod spell power is not subject to step downs. Rods do not drain your MP. Spells from rods do not need to be memorized. Rods can be used while silenced. Somewhat limited selection of spells. Ultimately capped at 86 power. Got it. Rod hunger can never be entirely limited. Is generally ignorable. The minimum cost for level 5 and 6 spells, 82 rods or not. Rods have a fairly small pool of mana, which can limit these ones that you will want to cast repeatedly. Rods take up weight and space from your floor where spells do not. Alright, so just based on this list alone and that promise, I think that there's a reason for me to reconsider this. Why not go with a heavy armored Minotaur who does good evocation? Or maybe not a Minotaur, they probably have -2. But a heavy armored character with a rod fetish and using that to win games. So that sounds like an interesting approach. Let's play this out and see how things go at this stage. But I'm already reconsidering the value of playing this as a Spriggan, because yes, intelligence. All my intelligence buffs don't matter. All of my other buffs don't seem to make as big a difference, and I'm not really taking full advantage of the pros here, am I? I mean, as I've remarked on numerous occasions, the opening here was pretty independent of switching to evocations later. The flip side of that being, I could have gone with a different opening if I had preferred. I could have gone with an opening that perhaps wouldn't have had magic as an option at all, and then made it work. That I made the switch. Since I don't suffer an evocations penalty for wearing heavy armor, that's an interesting way to work in heavy armor. Also, this right now is sufficient reason to never wear the +6 intelligence ring because it's not helping my evocation any. Let's drop the recharge scrolls. I don't want to burn. Let's drop half or more of the tele scrolls and the vulnerability scrolls there. That's a lot of scroll droppage. Kill, kill, kill. Guess strength here. I mean, if intelligence doesn't matter to being a good evocator, then strength helps me become a better, more able to carry evocation objects. and dexterity makes me more able to live by dodging stuff and possibly stabbing stuff. So those are the obvious skills to max. Sacrifice and run. Sacrifice and run. Kill. Kill. Boom. Sacrifice. Plain deck. I feel pretty good about my ability to kill things now. That was... Did I say I drew flame? That's good. I drew orb of energy. I drew hammer, which is a stone arrow. Frost. And electricity. You are a stubborn goddamn yak, you know that? Whip out my lightning rod and show you error of your ways. Alright. We are just gonna start making more and more use of the rods, I guess. I mean, after all, I am training evocations, not hexes. Ooh, unknown. Idiot. Teleportation. Doesn't benefit from extra buffing. Oh, this is a nice setup for a lightning bolt. 1, 2, 3, and switch back. That, pick that up, drop. Do I have an ID? Yes. Stasis, no thank you. Come at me, bro. Switch to the stabber. Ooh, you know what? Forget stabbing. We're just gonna electrocute these guys. Almost got all of them. Already almost charged up for a third attack. There's the third. That's the hippogriff. Gonna go the long way around. God damn it, this thing's blocking my way out. Blink. Let's give him one more tick to catch up. Because I'm trying to hit the manticore. It does feel like I'm only using 1 point of mana to fire the lightning bolt, though. There we go. Yeah, it seems like the follow-up blasts cost more than the initial blast with lightning bolt. How exactly does that item work? Continuous lightning, the discharge is standing, can be reckoned by evoking the rod and such. The trigger, the rod takes a moment to warm up, making short bursts rather ineffective. Once the zap is active, one can wave the rod. Not checking magically. Whereas the current reach is +5 can be treated +9. Okay, interesting. Equals ISB. I am replacing my offhand weapon with the zap one, or with the lightning rod at this point. Also, we don't need to carry around the rings we've already decided we're not using. Let's try out our latest wand, please. Wand of Frost, okay. Wait for the rats to approach, and then we start shooting them. No need to charge it any higher than that. Am I vulnerable to fire? I am not. He was one that I just want to be very careful about getting into a protracted fight with. Although, ironically, in the end, I would have been better off just killing him with lightning. Alright, my turn. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Cursed, pain, resist electricity, resist cold. Remove it, drop it, sack it. Next floor, where are we? Layer 3, Layer 4, Layer 5. Wield the deck of dungeons and draw. Troll. Using the deck earned me enough piety to gain an extra deck. Okay. That's water. I knew both of those were in the deck. I didn't know those were all that was in the deck, but okay. I have a new deck on hand. And it was, again, the deck of dungeons, and now I have 2 altars to Makleb in near proximity. Okay, fair enough. Keep the speed, sack the thing. You know what I need to do? I need to stack this deck. I don't care if it costs me piety. I'm not using that piety for anything anyway. Plain deck of dungeons, stack it, please. There's only 4 cards. Excellent. Dowsing, dowsing, dowsing in the minefield. So, put the minefield at last place, I suppose. Let's see. Next card's dowsing, 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 minefield. Perfect. So now, instead of needing magic mapping, I have 3 magic mappings at my disposal on demand. Except they're not magic mapping, they're better. They're dowsing. I don't know how that's better yet, but I'm sure it is, because magic mapping didn't show me outlines of enemies, and I believe that's what I was seeing when I doused a floor. There's no way around this guy. Alright, let's start zapping things. There we go. Cut a swath of destruction. There we go. And switch back. Let's see. New potion. Oh my god, I don't think I've been remembering to sacrifice weapons as I go. Not really. Well, there aren't that many left, so we're all good. Potion of agility, don't care. Get away from the webs. Lightning. And then kill. That Mamba might want to make sure that I'm not in danger before I run in. Probably the best for now is to run. Oh, please don't die here. Blink. Wait, no. Draw one. Ornate. No, just Deck of Escape. Shit. I entombed myself with the snake. Again, draw from the Deck of Escape. It resists. Okay, try again. Draw one, Deck of Escape. Tomb again. Fail. Fuck me. The Deck of Escape is useless. Let's just kill this thing. Okay, the tomb spontaneously resolves, apparently. But, that was really frustrating, honestly. I feel the whole point of having the deck available was so that when I'm in a melee like that and I need to get away now or die, I can. And then I couldn't, and that was frustrating. You know what I could do? I could do this. Stack the deck. Oh, how come I can't stack the deck? Because I burned all my piety by drawing one so often? Was that it? When did I lose favor? I'm not even sure when I lost that ability. But anyway, next time I have the chance to stack the deck, that's what I should do. Stack the deck of escape so that I know exactly what escape effects I'm likely to pull, and I can use them if they're valuable, and I cannot use them if they're not valuable. God, balancing piety with his abilities is a pain in the ass. Let's set up a kill swath. There we go. Actually, no, you know what? Sack it. I don't care. Next floor. Wait, why did we not pick this up? Blink scroll. Yeah, it's fine. Cancel it. It doesn't matter to me. Drop. Secondary magic darts wand, which we can now sacrifice as well. How long before they wake up and I'm trapped inside this maze? They're already waking up. Let's go ahead and position myself for the zaps that I want to try. Couple kills, plenty of crippling. That's my cup of tea. Wrong target. Again, the wrong target, but I'll kill it this time. kill target, kill the target. Excellent. Excellent. Alright, we're gonna cut dodging at this point in favor of a little bit of actual goddamn health. My health itself could definitely afford to be a little bit higher. And this will actually even help just my damage a little bit. Fighting technically increases your damage a little bit too. Alright, there's a whole bunch of dead spiders. Lightning Rod is amazing against popcorn mobs. That was just a dud. I will kill you. Let's get here where the lightning will likely bounce. Did it lose me? It's unaffected by confuse. Can't be affected by... how do you kill this thing? I guess the lightning approach is probably the right one. What I could do... Triple zap there. These lightning bolts do not bounce, apparently. Do I have a wand of some sort that I don't need anymore? Flame. Let's deplete the flame wand. There we go. And we can now drop the flame wand and sacrifice it because I'm only going to be using its big brother anyway by comparison. It's sad how even this late in the game I still think the wizard spells are valuable, but I'm not taking a mid-fitted cloud. I don't want this to become just another wizard run, which is what will happen if I give myself all the same spells. Whip out the dagger of speed and just keep killing things for a while. Hey, there's the replacement to that wand of flame I burned out. Where's that wand of flame that I don't need? There it is. Just finishing touch. Sacrifice the scroll of fear. Gain a deck of cards. Got dowsing, presumably from a deck of dungeons. Yep. And now I need to drop stuff. Drop the amnesia scroll. Drop the enchant armor scrolls. There we go. So it's not dowsing. Wow, there we go. Dowsing shows me living things, it seems. I don't know if that extends to some enemies, all enemies, or occasional enemies. I mean, how does that work? But enemies I'm near. I can see the manticore through this wall. Nemelex doesn't seem... I mean, sorry, that was real... I'm not noticing piety decay as often from Nemelex as I expected. Dowsing is a finite spell. It doesn't last very long, or it lasts however long it does, but then it's gone. It isn't like a permanent effect on the floor like magic mapping is. Which I guess is fine. technically was a very risky thing I just did there. Walking up to a Hydra and stabbing it, having a fairly high expectation that it would not be lethal in one stab. But, you know, I figured Spriggan speed, I can get away if I have to. Give it a try. So that worked out. That guy is very resistant to what I'm throwing out. Okay. Let's just get out of here. Actually, let's try for a confusion attack. Oh, I'm out. Sacrifice and leave. Let's go back on the... Do I have vulnerability? I do not. Stab plan. Oh, there we go. Got one. It's still so far from dead. Although, to be fair, the lightning rod recharged very smoothly. My evasion power, evocation power is very noticeable. You are going to die. It's just a matter of how long it takes. That just did a crap ton more damage than I'd been doing thus far. Let's kill these things. 1. Eight mana. Fire the first shot. Fire the second shot. Fire the first shot again. We've already established that this thing takes lightning to bring down. And we will pepper him with a little bit of fire to finish the job. Alright, show me the deck of destruction. Doesn't even matter which one, any will do. That was the deck of dungeons, you idiot. Deck of destruction. Pain. Zap. There we go. Got him. Oh, you're actually a real one too, huh? Struggle to resist, easily resist with some effort, easily resist with effort. I don't even know why I'm bothering to try and knock those things out with stuns. They die so much more easily with just being shot in the face. Come after me. One, two, three. That did not kill you. Okay, we'll switch over to wands. Got it. That's interesting. I can use cause fear and then run after whatever I've feared until I stab it to death while it retreats from me. That's an interesting 1-2 punch, and entirely unintended. Quickly switched magic dart for cause fear. That was the spell I was actually trying to use. I just forgot that I had it on the wrong letter. Alright, you assholes. Or mouse holes, I should say. Nail them all. I will say this, it is nice to be using a rod when after many runs where rods were meaningless because I already was a maxed out mage. And I would definitely say that in the end game or post end game, yeah, you're more happy to have a rod than you are to have, or you're more happy to have a spell than a rod because you can buff it out more. I gotta run away. I'm resistant to poison and electricity. That's why I was willing to stand toe to toe with those guys so long. But alright, well, it's getting late. I gotta call it here. But first foray into the Lair, I have the ability to use Dex pretty consistently, and yet I find it is inadequate to really justify itself compared to just blowing shit up. Probably more interested in rods in the end anyway. But evocation power and the power spike in the mid game is very noticeable. There's probably more chance of me going down the route of just being an evocator and trying to make use of all those new items that have come to the game. Stone of Tremors, Phial of Floods, Sack of Spiders, Bottled Ifrits, etc. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.